We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams.
All right, Mikey, we're live, buddy. We're live. We are recording. See that? Means we're recording. So we've come here. We've gathered together today.
Don't wait.
We're trying to figure out a business. More importantly, we're trying to figure out a business that allows us to use our skills, strengths, abilities, and our creative minds in order to build something that gives profit to humanity, allows us to glorify God, which is very important to us, and provide for our families, and maybe even be able to hire like our friends into it. You know, I mean, you'd like to be at the point where you can call up some of the homies and say, hey, this is what we're doing. We'd love you to move out here to Arizona or up to Prescott with us, or we'd love you to work remotely. But ultimately, I think that's what I would like to do. So that's why when you came up with the concept of coffee, it awakened this slumbering entrepreneurial desire that I had in the past to sell coffee, which is a tangible good. It's a traded commodity, and it's something that people keep coming back to over and over again. It's like, you know, a consumable, but consume. You know, they have to, they can't just use it once and the product is good. Like you bought your camera, you bought it once, and you don't really need to buy another camera until it no longer suits your needs. Yeah. But with the coffee, you consume it daily. Well, I think your convictions direct your goals there, your definition of the product. Like what kind of product we're going to make. Not something, you know, we're not going to, hey, we like videos, let's go make some adult films. Mm-hmm. We're not going to be doing that. Your theology personally and individually guides where you go, but then the branding of the product, I think, can't be. I don't think theology can be the top tier. Like, buy from me because I'm a Christian. Yeah. Buy Christian stuff from me. Yeah. Then it's like, well, no, make a good cup of coffee, and then I'll consider. You know, then I might look a little bit deeper into the brand and what do you do? What are you guys about? That type of
a topic that has.
Yes. So if Starbucks is the McDonald's of the coffee industry, their product really isn't that great. It's not the best cup of coffee on the planet, but it's the convenience, it's the familiarity, it's the consistency of the product delivery across the globe. You walk in and get an Americano in San Diego, it tastes the same as it does in Shanghai. It tastes the same way it does in Sydney. It tastes the same way it does in Alaska. Yeah. Or Moscow. Yeah. You get the same product. I think the consistency, that's why we go into there. So if you, as a company, send out emails that say Merry Christmas, you're still making a statement.
Yeah.
If as a company you go to some of these religious conventions or homeschool conventions or wherever you're trying to find people, consumers that will purchase your product, that are looking for a great cup of coffee, I think homeschool moms are looking for a great cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And I think if you find them at a homeschool convention where you can share, I only bring that particular topic up because it's been in the news a little bit more lately with some of these bathroom laws and things like that. And then also we homeschool and we enjoy it. And we've wanted to go to conventions to meet other people and share our products with them. But, you know, at the time it was the not many product, which was kind of closed, was like, meh, you know? I was kind of meh towards it. What's special about it? You know, you could have a special t-shirt or something, but you could do different things, like where you fund. You know, you fund missionaries in Africa or the countries where you're going. Not only do you provide, you know, like Starbucks has the ethos where the water, they're trying to get water and to these countries that they get coffee from. Yeah. Well, what about we get the gospel to countries where we get coffee from? You could still get, you know what I mean? It could still be part of it, not compartmentalized, but not the top tier. But part of your overall brand identity should be some sort of philanthropy, and our philanthropy is aligned with our theology. Part of me doesn't want to produce something that's not of high quality. And I think I have to get over that a little bit and join our audience in our journey. Like we're going to make the first time we roast, probably not going to be the best coffee in the world.
I guarantee it.
If we decide, are we deciding today?
Well,
are we deciding today that it is coffee?
And then we'll move on real quick.
Yes, finish the thought.
So that was kind of the one direction. And I think roasting, you can step it. That's what we're saying, because we could start small. We can buy small roasters. Yeah.
The scaling part, I think, becomes a challenge as well. You're right. We can step it. We can scale it. But if you make a great 2 pound or roast 1 pound at a time, I think it's going to be a challenge to roast 100 pounds.
You got to relearn the roasting.
Yeah.
You got to dial it in for sure. So there is a learning curve.
Does the learning excite you? Are you excited to learn more about roasting?
Yeah, it does excite me. It does, because it's something, and that's what, I have moments of doubt where I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. Like, I enjoy coffee, and I know a bunch about it, but you hear true, when you listen to these, like Blue Bottle, and they talk about the coffee, and where it comes from, and the notes, and the aroma, and all these things, their vocabulary and their knowledge of the product and how to deliver the product is so beyond me. But that goes back to what you were just saying. Are we going to wait until we feel like we know what they know? Because even by their own testament, they didn't know anything. They didn't know what they were doing when they started. But that's how I think we could gain all that book knowledge, right? And then go to put it to work and realize we have no idea still what we're doing. Mm-hmm. And even though now we feel mentally that we can explain all the definitions and terms and understand what we're doing, it's not knowledge that comes from experience. Yeah. Everything comes from experience.
Yeah.
When you can truly replicate it and duplicate it yourself, it's because you have the experience. So what I'm getting at is I'm not sure, I'm conflicted a little, and we can talk about that, between straight up pursuing a roast. Let's make a great cup of coffee. We want to roast. Because there's other roasters in Prescott. It's big competition. A lot of people do. Phoenix.
One just closed.
What's that?
I was looking on the internet. The interwebs doesn't lie. It said closed permanently.
For which one?
Prescott Coffee Roasters.
Oh, well, because I know Prescott Coffee Roasters, I wonder. That's interesting, because I know he closed his shop to focus on roasting. Oh, and I heard that from the shop that's running, unless they just closed. This was 4 weeks ago.
Maybe.
So it's interesting. So yeah, I think, but I've sampled their stuff. I was like, give me your best stuff. And it wasn't the best you've tasted? It was better, but it wouldn't draw me away from popping into Fry's and just grabbing some of their Javalia or some of their finer, where they got Tully's. Tully's is pretty good there too. So my thing though is, I think hands down, Blue Bottle is the best I've ever had, and I'm excited for you to try it. So I'm conflicted between pursuing our own, trying to create our own quality, trying to, in a sense, step up to the game that Blue Bottle is, or see if there's something there with just using Blue Bottle, opening our own place, featuring Blue Bottle. I don't know, because they'll sell to you wholesale, I don't even know if there's a business model there for that.
Well, it is a business model. It's called opening a coffee shop.
Well, exactly. And that's a much bigger entry step.
Yeah.
Much bigger entry. But what you don't have to worry about is the product. You don't have to worry about trying to figure out and go through all the things that they've already mastered. You know what I mean? They've already got an amazing product that they deliver. So that's kind of where I'm conflicted. Like, what makes more sense? I have, where's our passion at, and where's the business sense, and do they overlap? So you see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, absolutely. I think with the roasting, we can put our money together, buy a roaster, and we could roast a pound a week for ourselves.
Oh, we can do much more.
Keep trying. Well, I'm just saying, you could start with 1 day a week.
Simple.
We get together like we're doing today. We set up the video, we set up audio, we do something, we roast.
I think initially we're gonna roast a lot.
We roast a little bit or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We set like an hour. We spend an hour or 2 hours roasting, making a product.
Yeah.
And we record the journey along the way.
Yeah.
And we send that to the masses. Out there might be a little more challenging.
Sure, exactly.
But if you're producing the content, and people will see what's going on. They might buy. Hey, I want a pound. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll take a pound of coffee.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, and so that couples too with some of the other things we're interested in. Producing some of that content.
Producing
is also
content
fun.
is fun. We enjoy that.
At least we think so right now. I don't.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Yeah. Yeah, I the logo creation, you know, I don't know, making hats or T-shirts or something, the branding, the social media interaction, making content and putting it out there. I am excited to do that, real excited to do that. I just don't know what to do. I'm conflicted about what am I putting out there. But if it's a journey about roasting your own coffee, well, that's something that I'm excited to do and excited to document and excited to share.
So that's where it begins. It begins with us just trying to make a good cup of coffee.
Yeah, and then if we could make money from roasting coffee,
then we're doing something right.
Then we're doing something right, and it's possible then to what's the long-term goal? Well, the long-term goal is we want to have coffee shops. I do. I want to open my own coffee shop retail establishment.
Yeah, I would say my short-term goal, I mean, we can break it down many ways. Short-term goals, of course, start getting the necessary equipment to roast and produce, and then ultimately make a great cup of coffee.
And here's the thing.
Medium-term goal, but let me finish the goals.
Finish the goals.
The medium-term goal for me is having a product that we love and people around us love, whether it's family members, whether we can locally sell it, and put it in distributors, put it in even current coffee house, and they can feature it and kind of do, you know, a market test almost and see what the response is. I think that would be easier to feature us and go that route. And if the product is that good and people like it, then maybe then we can move to having our own place.
What's the long? Is that the long?
That would be the long-term goal. So we've been on a venture before. The audience doesn't know. Maybe they need to know about our history.
No, we can.
Well, here's what we'll do. We can each episode we can give them a
tidbit,
a teaser, and they can see if they can figure it out.
All right.
We've previously invested in another venture.
Was it
right?
Talking about Bitcoin? You talking about Not Many Noble? You talking about Goldtooth Records? Which failure are you talking about?
But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, because that didn't work out.
Yeah.
We didn't have anything that we could continue to use. We don't have, you know. In fact, you're stuck with stuff trying to figure out what do I do now with it.
Well, we're using this. This was the mic was got for Not Many.
Nice.
You know, music and audio. I bought the laptop for that and the video stuff. We're gonna get more use out of that.
I'm just saying, even if it fails, hopefully we can still make each other coffee.
We can make coffee.
And we don't have
the
to
failure's not so huge. It's a small failure. Like
it's not a failure. We didn't succeed.
Well, no. I don't mind using the word fail. And failing forward, learning from your failures. But if we get a place, failing forward. It's one of the terms. I heard it on a podcast. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's going to make all the rounds on social media. If we if we spend $1,000 to roast coffee, and that $1,000 lasts us 6 months in our little journey, our little endeavor, and we totally bomb it, like really have absolutely, we only can make garbage, and that's all we do is make garbage for 6 months straight. Every week, let's say we make 100 batches, and they all are equally
there's no
horrible.
Progress.
No progress whatsoever. And we get out, we're good. If we rent a place, fit it out, buy the espresso machines, and then try and roast all our own beans and everything as well, and sell everything, and quit our jobs and show up.
Skin in the game, as they would.
If you stink 6 months there, you're out like $50K. You've taken on debts.
I think
you've taken on. Oh yeah.
You want to be able to a year, 2 years before we turn a profit.
Well, like a coffee stand.
Yeah,
Even if you have a coffee stand that you drive, that we pull around with the van, a little coffee cart. That's a lot of money, and we've already used that money elsewhere. We don't have $30,000 to use on coffee roasting.
You told me you did. That's why we're here. You said, bring the camera. I've got the checkbook.
put, oh, there it is, the Yeti. Okay, now we're on the Yeti.